Hi, friends. This is your pal, Scott Garibay. And today we're going to talk about American culture, and we're going to talk about what I learned from Marina Hyde about David Beckham and Victoria Beckham and their son, Brooklyn Beckham, and his wife, Nicola Peltz. All right. So, I'm increasingly fascinated by this woman, Marina Hyde. She is a British. She's from the United Kingdom, the Great Britain, and she is just a entertainer, commentator. However, there's so much here, and I kind of just want to dig into it. So I'm really fascinated by this lady. So one, I'm fascinated that I'm listening to her pretty much 3 to 5 times a week, right? Every time her and Richard Osman drop a new episode of The Rest is Entertainment, I listen to all of it. There's no reason I should be listening to Richard Osman and Marina Hyde. There's a ton of reasons why I would completely take them off my list. One, they're British. I don't listen to British people, right? Like, we had a war with them. Like, we got beef. Like, you tried to keep us under your king. We're like, nah, get back, right? And so I don't like British people because they tried to, control us, right? And so, I still got beef on that almost 300 years later, right? So generally, I just skip British people, right? Like, whatever they're going to say, it's not important to me because I still got beef over that whole revolution thing. We had to revolt to get free of your king, right? And trying to keep our land, right? Like, it's a problem, right? And then in addition to that, international. I don't listen to nothing international. I'm an American, right? We got the best stuff. Anybody in America who scratches their butt, the whole world has to react. You know, Another country cracked their nation in half, right? Like, to the foundations, right? And I'll be like, what happened? Like, I'm telling you, like, it's an American thing. We just don't have to worry about anything international. So they're internationals, they're British, tons of reasons for me to ignore them, right? But I don't. I listen to every word they say, and I'm particularly interested in Marina Hyde. Richard Osman is brilliant. I think he's a really good, and I have to say, he actually has a ton to say, and this is so, and I wish I was better at this. He's so smart and has so many interesting things to say, but he seals his flapping maw when he needs to. He's so good at it. Marina is brilliant, and he lets her talk, and then he'll just like give a little question, and he'll let her bring more to the surface, and it's just unselfish, and it is peak conversation, like the end. So why am I listening to these two? They are absolutely brilliant, and I realized that's why I listen to Grace Randolph, and that's why I listen to everybody I listen to. You better be wicked smart, right? And they are. They're just absolutely wicked smart, right? So that's the thing. They're just so smart. And I love listening to them. And I'm willing to listen to things that I do not care about. So what we're going to talk about today is Marina Hyde is taking me by the hand into multiple worlds I know nothing about, and I'm absolutely fascinated. All right. So she started to explain to Richard Osman the current feud of the David Beckham family, right? And I knew nothing about this. Marina Hyde, not only did she know a ton about it, but she was able to talk about this subject and use this subject. She took this subject, she held it up to the light, and every facet just gleamed off the light of the world. So she was explaining the world by talking about David Beckham, his wife Victoria Beckham, and their current feud with Brooklyn Beckham, their son, and Nicola Peltz, their son's wife. Okay? So why is any of this interesting? Well, it's absolutely fascinating, right? So first of all, how did it get to me, right? This super smart Marina Hyde's talking about it. Why does this super smart lady care about gossip nonsense? Well, it's not gossip nonsense anymore. David Beckham and Victoria Beckham have redefined celebrity in Great Britain. They are the absolute pinnacle of how you gain wealth today. So David Beckham was an extremely successful soccer person, right? A soccer player. And he's attractive, right? His wife was a Spice Girl, and she's attractive, right? So they already came to the table with celebrity. When they were done with their regular career, their current career is way bigger than their old career. They're making bank on everything. And how are they doing it? Instagram, okay? Another subject I know virtually nothing about, right? Instagram. So what's happening with Instagram? Why does Instagram matter? Well, it is really, really fascinating. Instagram matters because, oh yeah, so basically, they post, they're living out loud, right? And this is new, and they are just absolutely going completely ham of every single moment of their life is they show up at a party. And when they show up at a party, first of all, they're probably paid to be at the party, right? By the people who invited them to the party. Okay, then the suit they're wearing, the suit David's wearing, they get paid. The dress Victoria's wearing, they get paid. The soda they drink, they get paid. The alcohol they drink, they get paid. The sunglasses they wear, they get paid. The car they drive, they get paid. 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 And this is fascinating because I can't endure Instagram. To me, Instagram is for people who don't read, right? So I don't have any interest in hearing anything or seeing anything that those people have to say, right? Because they don't read. What could they possibly know? It's literally the most unintelligent people in the world talking to each other with images. I can't endure it, right? But since Marina Hyde is interested in it, I'm like, ooh, I might need to start realizing what, because to me, social media is Instagram, Facebook, and I'm sorry. To me, social media is just three things. It's YouTube, it's Facebook, and it's Twitter. And I've been using them for years, and I have thousands of posts on all of those. Thousands of posts on all of those, right? So I don't want to go over to Instagram and not know. I literally can't even navigate on Instagram, right? I'm so ignorant of it. But she explained that what's happening right now is this feud has blown up, and there have been nobody's yelled at anybody, nobody's even frowned at anybody, but the whole world knows the feud because Nicola Peltz didn't like Victoria Beckham's post, and Brooklyn hasn't been in a picture with his dad in 3 weeks, right? And so there's this tea leaf reading that's happening, right? And so there's a huge row, there's a huge fight, there's a huge feud, but not even a single public word has been stated. But because they live out loud and they're constantly on Instagram, the silences, the missing likes, the not being in a photo, not showing up at this event, it all means everything. And so when you turn your life on full blast, right, and you are using people in your family to drive your content, that means people are like, okay, I'm in on your content, right? And when you get into a fight in your family, that's my business. That is incredible. That is an incredible change in celebrity, right? Now, it hasn't reached American yet. So how is this American culture? Well, I'm American and I'm looking at it. and there, it's extremely rare, right? But a lot of times things that happen there will make its way here. And I think this is making its way here. And it reminds me that I need to be paying more attention to Instagram. Really interesting. And I probably shouldn't write off people that can't read. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.